do not have enough food. I don't mean that they don't get dessert.
That's enough TV for today. So what? 1 in 10 Chinese people don't have enough food. I've been home in the UK now for about 2 weeks, and today I'm going to tell you 10 things I think that China does better than here. First thing is weather. I've been here in Northern Ireland for about 2 weeks. The first 2 days was sunny, and it's just rained since. Today is not raining, and I consider this a good day. Even in summer, I'm freezing. I've got a shirt on. It's maybe 15 degrees, really cold. But in China right now, it's summer, so it's really hot. And in winter, it'll be really cold. But here in Northern Ireland, it's just kind of windy and cold and rainy all of the time, the whole year round. So I think China is better for that point. And the next point is food. While I do love the food here, you know, I grew up eating this food, but a lot of it is based around potatoes. So usually every meal you would have potatoes with some sort of meat. And yes, they do the potatoes in different ways with different sauces, but it's just all very similar. Whereas in China, there's just so much different food from different areas that you can kind of get everywhere in China. So each province has its own speciality, and each city has like its own flavor and its own different style. There's just any sort of food you ever want you can get in China. So I think China just has a much better variety of food than we do here in Northern Ireland. Number 3 is payment. So when I'm home here, I always have to carry my wallet with me and some cash, because you can use your card, you can tap your card to pay some things, but not everywhere accepts cards. So, you know, either you have to run to an ATM to lift some money, or you just have to have cash on you. But in China, all I need is my phone. I can pay for anything on my phone, order anything on my phone. And my Chinese friends don't even need their phone. They can pay using their face, which is just crazy. You could go out without your phone, without any money, and still be able to buy stuff in the shop. That's pretty incredible. So I think China's really good on that point. And since I've been back here, I just realized how crazy it is, the cost of living. Like, even buying a bottle of water is almost 20 RMB here. It's just crazy. And, you know, just buying things, most of them are probably made in China, which is why it's more expensive here. But they're like 6 times more expensive. And it's exactly the same thing. You're buying the same thing for just way more money. So yeah, very, very expensive to live here these days. Just going from furniture to clothes to food to milk to cars to houses. It's just really expensive to live here. So if you're buying the same things, it's better to get it cheaper, like in China. While I've been here for this trip, I've been very lucky that I can use my mum's car to drive around. Because if you don't have a car or you don't have a license, it's just very, very difficult to get anywhere. If you want a taxi, there's no Uber, there's no Didi. You have to call the taxi company and order it for maybe hours in advance, and you probably still won't get one. So you're relying on your friends, your family to take and leave you everywhere. And it's just difficult. So you need a car to drive around. Whereas in China, if you want to go somewhere, you just order a Didi, and within like 2 minutes they're at your house ready to pick you up. And it's really cheap as well. Number 6 would be transport in general. I've taken a few trains since I've been home, and they're really expensive, and they're so slow after being on the high-speed trains in China. In China, the transport is number 1 in the world, that is for sure. Just everything works so well, it's always on time, it's clean, you can order food and things in the carriage, and yeah, it's just much better than it is here. So China wins on that. Number 7 would be delivering things, just general things, whether that's delivering food, delivering products from online, or just getting things to your house. Here, if I want to pick up, say, a present for someone, I have to get in my car, go and find somewhere to park, get out of my car, walk to the shopping centre, buy it, go back to my car, drive to my friend's house, give to them, maybe sit down, have a cup of tea, and it just takes hours to do anything. It's just so easy in China. You can just buy something, get it to your house, send it to someone else. Very, very convenient compared to what I feel like it is here in Northern Ireland. And number 8 is that the shops close so early here. On a weeknight, they close at 5 p.m. So if you're at work and you want to go and buy something afterwards, the shops will be closed. It's very difficult. And even on a Sunday, they're only open from 1 to 6. So you have to kind of plan your time around the shops being open. Whereas in China, you could order something at 3 a.m. and they can deliver it to you, or you can get food at any time in the day. Just much more easier, more convenient. So that's another thing that I think China is more better at. Number 9 would be the nightlife. Things only happen on maybe a Saturday or a Sunday here, and all of the clubs and bars and things, they close about 12 or maybe 1 a.m. at the latest. In Shanghai, things go on to like 7 a.m. The party never stops. So yeah, not as much nightlife here at all in Northern Ireland. And my last point is safety. You know, you can walk around China at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the middle of the city, in the suburbs, just anywhere, and no one would ever say anything to you, or you'd never feel in any sort of danger. But, you know, in Northern Ireland, there's a lot of times where people say, oh, you know, be careful at night, make sure you don't walk out alone, don't go down that street, stay away from that area at night time. So yeah, obviously China is very, very safe. It's what a lot of people say when they come to China. They always feel safe. And in my 5 years living there, I've never ever felt any sort of threat or worried about my safety or anything. So that is a definite thing that I think China beats everywhere in the world with. Very safe. And a response to that guy that was on TV, I can almost guarantee that he's never been anywhere near China. To say that 1 in 10 people in China are not having enough food or malnourished, it's just absolute ridiculous. I've lived in China for 5 years, and I spend my weekdays in Shanghai or Shenzhen or another big city, and at the weekends I go around the countryside in villages and small towns, just exploring around and meeting people, and not once have I ever seen anyone homeless or begging or this malnutrition that apparently is 1 in 10 people. Like, it's crazy. And at the end of the day, I just think that, you know, it's quite dangerous, TV and online, for people here that know nothing about China. You know, they have no idea. They've never seen anything of what it's really like. And if they hear someone on TV telling them this, that there's a lot of people in China that don't have enough food, they just believe it because they have no way to tell is that true or right or wrong. So I think the only way for you to find out what anywhere is like, and China, is to come. And China welcomes people to come and see what it's like. So it stops this false, fake information of, oh, everybody's starving in China, China's so poor, it's so this, it's so that. So just come for yourself and see what it's like. And for anyone in China that's watching, my hometown's pretty nice as well. So I welcome you to come and visit as well. And if I'm here, let's meet up. Let's go and do something. I'll show you around. But yeah, that's all I had to say on that point. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.